All right, so in this Knife Thoughts video, we're looking at this knife. Pretty interesting knife, and one that I'm really happy to have gotten the chance to check out, take a look at, and get a feel for. Thanks to a friend named Sam Green. You can find him on Instagram at samgreen_maker. He actually does some of the, or I guess all of the filmography videos and everything like that for John Malecki, who is a pretty well-known maker on Instagram and things like that. So definitely check out Sam Green. Again, samgreen_maker at Instagram. And again, I really appreciate him giving me the chance to check this out. But this is the CRKT Provoke, and this is designed by Joe Caswell. So this is a knife that is a production version of a semi-production or mid-tech, as they're often called, knife that was designed by Joe Caswell. It's a knife that I've been aware of for a long time because I've followed Joe Caswell for a while on Instagram and saw that he was designing this really interesting mechanism. So what it is the blade on this knife is deployed not out of a handle using a pivot, but using these two arms here. So I guess it'd be better to show you than to talk about it. What you do is you press on this part and the blade comes forward. So it does lock, because once both of these arms go forward, this bar locks against a face connected to this arm. So it locks out, and it's a design that's really well suited for a Karambit, which is what this is. It's a Karambit style knife. So it's really interesting, and it was originally done by Joe Caswell as a Kickstarter or a crowdfunded design as a mid-tech, and then CRKT picked it up, and now they're doing this as a production knife. And it's really cool to see such a unique mechanism as a production knife. CRKT, some people will say that they don't bring the knives out with the quality that they deserve sometimes, but no one can say that CRKT doesn't have cool designs. CRKT often has production knives made with these really interesting mechanisms or features that not a lot of other companies do. So that's something I really appreciate about CRKT, and this seems to be really well done. I haven't heard any complaints really about how this knife is made, and I think that it has given respect, the respect that this mechanism deserves. It's really pretty cool that they can do such a different and unique mechanism as a production knife. So again, it works by pressing this past the detent, pressing on the butt of the blade, past the detent until these arms swing forward, and as they swing forward, this bar goes against a face on this arm. So it holds it in place, and it's really well suited also to the Karambit because the finger hole, allows you to make sure you have a good hold on it while you're pressing forward. The Karambit is a traditional fixed blade design that was originally an agricultural tool, like a lot of the knives that have this kind of sometimes called a talon, sometimes called a pruner blade, but this is more of a talon blade. And it was used in agriculture, farming and things like that, but then became a self-defense tool, which has happened with a lot of different knife designs, knife styles historically. But it's really well suited for this mechanism because, one, as you can see, it folds into this handle really well because of the curve. Now, certainly you could do a dagger style, and I think that they're going to, but the curve really works in well, making it a nice, sleek package. And then the finger hole, or the finger ring that's part of the traditional Karambit design, also works well because that allows you to really hold on to the knife while you're pushing it out, whereas if it was just a handle, it might be a little bit tougher to hold on to. This allows you to hold it without holding on to the bars so that they won't go forward. Now, I think sometimes people, when they first see this, will say, well, this blade's exposed, you're going to cut yourself. But because it's only ground on one side, it is a chisel ground knife. So you can see that it's flat on this side other than the edge, and then it's only ground on this side. There are a lot of actually folding knife designs like this where, because it's a chisel grind, you can have it just against a backing on the flat side, and it's relatively safe. You can see it does pull out from the backing a little bit, and I think if you tightened it down, it wouldn't do that quite as much. Might not flip out quite as easily, but I'm not going to do that because it's not mine. And it's not really a problem. You know, it'd be relatively tough to get too much caught on that, but it is something where I think people see that and think, oh, the blade's exposed. But it's not too much of an issue there, although if you watch my videos, you know I hate proud tips and when you can catch your finger on them. So if this was mine, I might see if tightening it down kept it from moving out from the handle a little bit, or the backing. So that's another interesting thing about this design. And it's a knife that, as I said, the Karambit became a self-defense tool. I think that's really the use for this, if not purely novelty. And the reason for that is because, first off, this is the easiest way to open it. It's not really that easy to open it if you're going to use it in a normal forward grip. Like, you can, but it's really not as easy or not as intuitive. So it definitely is made to be used in a reverse grip, and I think it is designed to be a self-defense tool. But I think the main reason that people are going to buy this, and really the reason that I'm super interested in it and was excited to see it, is this mechanism. It's so different from other knives that we've seen, and it's exciting that new mechanisms, new designs like this are still coming out in the knife world. So that's a really cool thing that Joe Caswell did, and really great that CRKT was able to bring it forward. It is really interesting. Now, as for one-hand close, that's something that I had to kind of get used to. It does seem that you can open it one-handed, and then you can close it one-handed by flipping it around like this, and then pressing on this, allowing it to close, and then kind of pull it like that, and then swing it back. So not the most intuitive, or, oh, see, it didn't open the whole way on that. There we go. Not the most intuitive or easy to do one-hand close, but it is doable. Another interesting thing about this knife is the pocket clip. So this pocket clip is designed so that what you do is you press on this part where it has these lines, and that will open the pocket clip a little bit. So it'll kind of pry it outward so that you can slide this onto your pocket, and have it there, and you pull it out and then hit that, and you've got it open. So interesting pocket clip, also works really well with this design, the Karambit finger hole design. One thing though is, if I was going to carry this knife, I would carry it as a secondary knife because I'd want to be carrying a more utilitarian knife as my primary knife. So I would actually probably carry this in my left pocket. The problem with carrying this in my left pocket is that when you pull it out, right, it won't be able to be opened with your thumb. You'd have to do this, and it would be, not set up for a normal, edge forward Karambit carry, which is the way a Karambit is traditionally used. So, it is just a right hand, right pocket carry. So you would have to, carry it in your right pocket to be able to open it as I'm doing. But that's another thing. I think most people are going to buy this more as a novelty, as an interesting design, as an interesting mechanism, than they are as something they're going to carry every day. But that's just something to be aware of. Now, finally, I believe that CRKT has said officially that they have plans to make other knives with this mechanism. I definitely should have checked, and I've been trying to remember this whole time I've been filming this, but I can't remember what they're calling the mechanism. I don't think that it's Joe Caswell's name. I think that it's CRKT's name for the mechanism. I can't remember what they're calling it, but they have said that they're going to make different blade shapes. So that's an interesting thing. I will be interested to see what they do. I would guess that they'll make a normal Wharncliffe, probably a spear type blade, maybe a dagger type, and I'll be interested to see how they change the handle also, because the Karambit is so well fitted to this mechanism. But it's a really cool knife. It's one, again, I'm really happy to have gotten the chance to check out. Again, check out samgreen_maker on Instagram. Big thanks to him for loaning it, and it's a knife that I've had a lot of fun with so far, getting used to it, seeing how it works, checking out the mechanism, and just, kind of playing around with it. So if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to check out my social media at Knife Thoughts on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr, and my blog and website at knifethoughts.com. Enter your email there to subscribe and get updates when I post new articles. And finally, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.